You all right?
Oh, go ahead. I went about 100 feet since base camp, and now it's 729-foot climb to the top of the falls. And that'll begin the high country. When I get the Springer, it'll continue up that ridge going up. And I'll be camping tonight at 3,750 foot. About 600 more feet to go. I've been doing 90 squats a day after my walk for the last 2 years. I wouldn't even be able to do this. Parking lot to the can't see where oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. That's where I camped last night. All right, we're just starting. Already hitting snow right here. Snow on the ground, staying there. Won't melt till the sun hits it. And then getting up to the upper ridge, starting to get up to the upper ridge now. Gotta climb up that thing. I see it way up there. Okay, that's gonna be my first little climb here. All right. Zamacola Creek, the same creek that goes over the falls. On down there, I guess half a mile or so from there, maybe from here, maybe a mile from here. And it drains the high country, this high country ridge. Pretty cool. I'm gonna go and climb up here. Time to climb again. Yep. Let me put this camera down. All right, reached the spot here. I want to show you something. There's two different types of plants out here up about 3,000 feet or so that grow, especially on these bald mountain tops, these rock-capped mountains. This is mountain laurel. You'll see this. It doesn't grow very, you'll go through tunnels of this stuff. And this is the leaves. I think it's the smaller leaves. I hope I don't have them backwards. Yeah, that's mountain laurel. That grows way up top. And right here, right beside it, we just happen to have rhododendron. I think that's the name of it. It's a mountain plant that grows up here in elevation. That's usually a little bit lower, I think around the, but you get this mountain laurel all the way up there around 4 or 5. Sometimes that's the only thing growing at the top of the mountain. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get going. Make some time here. I'm feeling good. The whole time last 2 years, I've been hiking, walking a minimum of 5 miles every morning, and I do 90 squats at the end of my workout. And I'd also do a bike with a lot of resistance, stationary bike. And I'll tell you, it's made all the difference in the world. I'm in better shape now than I was when I tried to hike in when I was 62. So, or when I was 62. I'm 66. I'll be 65, fixing to turn 66 at the end of the month. And it's hard to believe, but I'm in better shape than I was then. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I finally made it out here. I'm out here on the ridge and there's nobody around me. Past that hike in where the day hikers go, or the overnight hikers. And that's and now I think one through hiker, a younger guy, passed me here a little while ago. We had a conversation and he went on. I stopped and took a layer off, and it's cold, but your backpack is like a jacket in itself. So I pick up the pace here. I started to sweat. You don't want to sweat when it's going to freeze, because your shirt will freeze, and that's not a good thing. You know, once you take it off, I get out of this jacket, let the breeze go, it'll dry, my body heat will dry the shirt. It's a little damp right now, but I'll keep up a pace. But it's gonna tell about the falls. Now, this ridge, man, is so cool. All around me, the buds are just starting out of the trees here at around 2,800 feet, I guess is where we're at. Well, we're probably around 3,000 feet. No, probably more than that. Around 3,000 feet right here. The buds are just starting to come out on the trees, so it's going to be some great views. This is the earliest I've started in this part of the country before, in Georgia. A little history about Amicalola Falls. This was Cherokee territory here. It's about 300 or so miles from Fort Toulouse, where the sixth great grandfather is buried. And during the French and Indian War, of course, we were allied with the Creeks, and the Colonials were allied with the Cherokee. They had a great battle up here in the 1800s, in the early 1800s, and that nobody knows exactly when. And that's what Blood Mountain is named after. Slaughter Creek and Blood Mountain. They say it was a great battle there, and the blood ran off the mountain between the Cherokee and the Creek Indians. And our forefathers had already left by then. The Treaty of Paris in 1769, they went to Louisiana after that because it became a colonial territory. The mountains did, all the way up to the Mississippi River. But anyway, starting to go down a little bit, because you know the thing is, out here on these ridges, I might go down. You say, well, I'm going to end my hike today at 3,750 feet. You know, it's nice little but the thing is, the whole time I'm coming out there, the falls was at 2,500 feet. I'll climb up to 3,200 feet. Then you got to go down these other little hills, these mountains. Might go down to 20, might go down to 29, then back up to 32, and you know, then up to 35. It's like a up and down type of thing. I'm in the throes of a little down right now, so feeling pretty good. I don't want to take up too much camera time here, but this is really excited. I'm feeling good. I wanted to see how I do on that climb. 2 years ago when I did it, it just completely wiped me out, where I was sick. And that's when, you know, it wasn't a couple days later I had to get off the trail, because I just went into stress, man. I couldn't even, I had a fever and everything else. I was bad off, but I just worked my body too hard. You have to be in good enough shape to get to hike out here to start with, you know. It's kind of like You got to be in shape to get in shape out here. You just can't come out here in halfway shape and get out here and do it, because just that climb up them stairs would be just about, would have been impossible. It's almost impossible. It took me, and 2 years ago, the stairs weren't there. It was a steep trail on the other side I had to come up, which is just as bad as the stairs. And because they were rebuilding the stairs from where the hurricane wiped them out, where that creek overflowed and wiped everything out. And it was taking me, it took me, I was completely drained. And by the time I got up here, it probably took me 4 hours to get up here, and I was dying. I mean, I was just dying. And but I'm feeling really good this year, and I'm excited about it. Oh, we got melted snow and it's muddy here. Oh man, these mountains are so cool. You know, this mountain range started about 250 million years ago, the geological processes, and what's left here is more or less uplift. But when you're dealing with geological time, these are some of the oldest on the earth. These round cap mountains. These mountains along the range now were actually under the ground at one time, at great depths under the ground. And as the mountains eroded, and they had 3 plate collisions they made, and then as they eroded, they uplifted. They had an uplift from this. It's pretty interesting, because the geology of it. But what I'm saying is, they're capped. They're more or less capped rock, because that's what's left at the top of these mountains, round capped rock. A little bit of soil, you know. And it takes, what am I thinking? I'm trying to watch my step. I don't want to bust my butt right off the bat coming down. I'm coming down right now. But the process, since they were under pressure for so many thousands of years, as it eroded down, it compressed the rock down there, and then the rock actually starts to expand once it reaches up here. And the rocks on top of these mountains, I just found this out the other day watching this geological thing, and the rocks on these mountains are still expanding. That's what causes the little fissures and the little cracks and stuff like that in the mountain, where these mountains become natural cisterns, you know, for water. And you'll see when we get the Springer up at the top of the mountain, about 50 foot down, you know, coming down, because the top of the mountain's rock cut, you've got this beautiful spring flowing right out of the mountain, out of the rocks. And that's the water source. And that's how it's made. But the interesting part, geological time and how old these mountains are, before the Cherokee, it's debatable what was here before the Cherokee. Cherokee came down here a few thousand years ago from up north. At least that's what they think. And the ones that took the place, there was some people living there before them and before them. But time-wise, there's no archaeological record of any human being found in this continent that's much more than 15,000 years. I think there was one that was 17,000 years ago. They found some remains and carbon dated them. But so these mountains, what I'm getting at, them falls in these mountains where we're walking here, they haven't changed any since the existence of modern man, and that's something to think about. So some of these trails I'm walking on are trails that modern man, but you got to remember, the highways that were made were old trails too. These were only the top mountain trails. These were the trails that the warriors took, that the Creeks would have come in here to go on or when they go on their war parties to stay, up here, and they'd be running in the high country and stuff like that. So, and of course, the indigenous people, they believe some of the places in these mountains to be very sacred. And I've got some theories. One theory is, of course, one theory is the indigenous people thought everything was sacred, pretty much. That's one thing or another, but oh shoot, starting to get a little. Oh, we're coming down to a gap here. It looks like somewhere. I don't know. I didn't bring any maps. I didn't bring any strip maps or nothing, because I've hiked this stretch here probably a dozen times. So, why carry anything? I know where I'm at out here pretty much. I do have my phone with the GPS, and I've got the GPS tracker. So I've got 2 maps. If I lose my way for some reason or something, I still have a couple backups, but I'm not really concerned about getting lost out here. This is a well-marked trail. A lot of people come on it, but here we got somebody coming up here. All right, let me get off. My Garmin just went off, and it says it's not getting a view of the sky, but I got a clear view of the sky. Huh. I don't know. Trying to look, my satellite link's lost. That's weird, because I can see the sky above my head. All right. Yeah, up and down, up and down. I think I gotta climb that one next and then come down. But feeling pretty good. It's about 1:30 and we're working along. All right, I just found out when my phone cuts off, it keeps filming. So I've been filming for an hour in my pocket, so I'm gonna delete all that. Then it gets on my doggone car too. I don't know. Whew. I'm learning, and I know this video. Believe me, I'm not used to talking to my phone. I've never did this before, so hopefully my diary videos will be getting better. But 3.5 miles from Springer Mountain, that sounds good. All right, later. God dang it. Yeah. I just climbed up there. I see. I turned around with this thing in my hand. I almost fell down. I better watch myself. All right. Whew. Oh, I think that's Springer Mountain. Where am I? Let's go back to this. I think that's Springer way up there. Man, I got to get a move on. I get there before it gets dark, but I don't want to push it too much. I might stop at Black Gap. All right, here we go. I made the climb up Springer Mountain. Oh, I am tired. I want to set up a hammock, but I'm out of water. There's a good water source there, so I'm going down a little ways. Oh yeah. Whew. All right. I think it's the top. Yep, sure is. Hey, Oh. Oh. All right. We're on top of Springer Mountain. This is the start of the Appalachian Trail right here. There's the view. This mountain's 3,700 feet above sea level. I'm gonna be going down about 100 feet, and I'm gonna to the water source and get this hammock set up. I'll come back up here and take a picture before I take off tomorrow.